What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show, and we've got a great show lined up for you because crypto is pumping. Bitcoin leading the way, but right behind it, actually, I say it's leading the way, it probably has the most money flowing into it. The altcoin that's catching everyone's attention once again is Solana, and this has a very deja vu type of feeling because in case you did not know, throughout the early stages of this bull run so far from the bottom back in 2022, it seems like Solana always starts to get the ball rolling and the rest of the crypto space follows right behind. Well, today we've got some fantastic news and charts to cover about not only where Bitcoin and Solana and a lot of the other altcoins are, but where they're going to be in the not so distant future. You don't want to miss a bit of it. Now, there might be low viewership today. There might be some weird things. We are seeing a very strange IT outage worldwide in a way that we have not seen this ever before. It's very, very fascinating. What does that mean about crypto moving forward? We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. Smash that like button. Let's get more and more people in here for the video so that we get that subscriber count going up. If you haven't hit subscribe, but you've been watching for a while now, just do it. Just hit subscribe right there. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and now we got to roll an intro. Yo, T-Shroom, how are you doing today, my friend?
Tim, I'm doing better than I deserve. Got some good optimism for today's stream. While the rest of the world is having some IT issues, I think this might be the first stream that we don't have any IT issues.
No. Listen, we don't say those things anymore. We don't jinx it, T-Shroom. We're going to do the best we can to have an error-free show, but if it happens, it happens. It happens. We're not gonna freak out about it. Hopefully, limited action of pixelated Tim today. But whether you can see me in 4D or whether you see me in about 4 pixels, it doesn't change what we're gonna talk about today, and that is a lot of your portfolios. Especially if you've been following the bros, if you have been listening to our show and where you should be buying and where you should be taking profit, your portfolio probably looks pretty good today. How much higher are we going in the not so distant future? Let's start off here, T-Shroom. Is the bull market even close to over in your opinion?
No, I think we've been in a lull, a sideways range from 70 to 60K. That's very normal for this phase of the cycle, and we have much higher to go. Unless something's different about this cycle, which is possible, but all systems are a go, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're gonna cover a lot of reasons as to why all systems are a go, as T-Shroom puts it. But let's start off here by going in and looking at the bubbles. Now, there are red ones on here. Oh, that's your screen. I didn't share my screen. Okay,
you've got to share that screen. Sharing your screen is important, bros.
I was thinking maybe, T-Shirt, that if we didn't share my screen, then we won't have any technological glitches. So it was a little trickery of the internet that I was. But anyway, okay, we got to share my screen. All right, let's take a look. Sea of green, everybody. That was my main point I wanted to say here. A couple of red stragglers. Core was a big green bubble not that long ago. Now it's in the red, barely down 1.1. Mantra had a big week itself, but they're down here once again in the red column, 2.1. And the last one over here, HTX. At least those are the big. Oh, I guess Eagle. I can't leave out Eagle over here in the red, technically speaking. But a lot of green. Mog, Popcat, Bonk continue to lead the space. Brett is still doing very, very well. You got to have all your meme coins. Pepe, Whiff. Don't want to forget about them. Floki. Yeah. Memes doing well today. That is a sign of overwhelming money flowing into crypto. Cannot wait to get into the charts and talk about this money flowing into crypto and what it means for the future. But some stragglers that are not meme coins. Let's take a look at some big ones, not meme coins. Ondo, Solana, Arweave, Theta, Say, Optimism. Look at this, T-Shroom. How often is it that Bitcoin's bubble is big enough to even see what is happening right there? You love to see it. A lot of coins that we have been talking about now for a while. Look, can't leave out Jasmine and Jupiter. Bros picks that we've told beginners would be good investments looking extremely, extremely good today. But let's focus on the king of crypto, T-Shroom, looking at the Bitcoin chart. Now, depending on where this line is, I slightly moved it here to get a nice touch. We're currently wrestling with, I know earlier today I kind of hinted that we might have broken out this resistance level. Let's move it just a little bit. I know I'm moving the goalpost, everybody, but still getting some good touches here on our ascending channel. Either way, what makes me extremely happy before we get into all of the details, volume, ladies and gentlemen, volume, 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 not the volume of my microphone, volume of money flowing into Bitcoin. Why is this so important, everybody? Why am I saying the word volume like it's a good luck charm for the crypto space? It's because volume communicates two different things. Either A, reversals like we saw back here on July 5th, where we kind of called that bottom borderline perfectly, T-Shroom. People who are watching know that that was the level we said would have a reversal. Same thing back here on June 24th. If I screw over to the left, again, big volume coming in where? Right at the reversal. But the other thing that volume helps communicate, like back here on July 15th, and now once again here on July 19th, as we're breaking through resistance, volume communicates strength in movements. This is not an anomaly. This is not the bears just stopped selling and the price just meagerly is moving to the upside. No, it means there is active buying going into the markets right now. People are extremely bullish. Does this mean we can't have any type of corrections whatsoever? No, that's not what it means, but it's very, very positive. And before I go deeper and look at a lot more longer term time frame things, and I'm not talking about like the bull market long time frame, I'm talking about the next couple of weeks. Let's talk about what could happen over the next couple of days if this pattern plays out. Going back to my chart here, T-Shroom, with this volume breaking out, we were in a little bit of a symmetrical triangle pattern. We told you guys we would pull back. I thought we'd go a little bit lower, maybe down towards 62.4 again, but either way, we found ourselves in a symmetrical triangle pattern, and now with this breakout attached to a pretty decent, consistent rally to the upside into this formation, this bull pennant. And guess what? VIP Trading Group, we're going to be covering bull pennants next week in case you're wondering what's happening. We could see a breakout prediction back up to 73,800. Guess what that level almost perfectly is down to the dollar? The highs, not only for this bull market, but the total highs for Bitcoin in its history. Would not be surprised as we get back to those levels if there's some people selling off. So to me, when I'm looking at price predictions and price movements, and I see this bullish formation find a level of resistance that would also make a lot of sense based off of liquidations, that adds a lot of confluence to say that this is a very legitimate area to be keeping an eye on. But it gets even better, ladies and gentlemen, because if we make that move and we do head up here to 73, we might hesitate back up at 73, almost 74,000. But once again, as we have been talking about, a bullish breakout of this channel would send the price of Bitcoin up here. The line moves here a little bit. Let's go a little higher here. 83,500. It moves a little bit because where the breakout ends up coming is going to shift, but it looks very much like right now, as we currently are wrestling with $67,000 in price action, that a breakout could be coming. The volume's coming in helping us. That could mean, and I'm not talking about necessarily even a crazy short period of time, we could see these new highs coming in the next couple of weeks. I talked about this yesterday. Potentially, if things and the stars align next week at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee, United States of America, do not be surprised if explosions happen. If things don't align, if stars don't align, and the bears are able to continue to mount up some resistance, yeah, maybe we only rally to 70,000, and then we take a very nice, slow downward crawl back down towards 60K. I'm leaning towards the former, though. I do think new all-time highs are on their way. Could be seeing them either late July, early August. I believe at least late August at this point. I think Bitcoin is picking up the right momentum at the right time. With that said, I want to make sure I'm not going to go into details in this video because I did a very good job of this in this morning's video. Some of you see it. Put a W in chat if you saw this morning's video. But I covered reasons why the crypto market is about to explode. And there's a lot of fundamental things. Wrapping it up what it is, go watch the video for exact details. But we know that next week there's a rumor. He's already hinted at it. Orange Man, that's the guy who everyone thinks is going to be the next president of the United States. He's already talked about how he's so pro Bitcoin, but there's a rumor that he will announce officially at the Bitcoin conference that he is going to be not backing the dollar with Bitcoin, but using it as a reserve to prop up the United States Treasury. And there we do know from his former remarks that one of the reasons he wants to be so aggressive at capturing the Bitcoin space and keeping mining in America and building the right type of regulation to prosper the whole crypto market is because he's very afraid that if America gives up these tools in crypto and it goes to places like China or to Russia, that would be detrimental, a devastation for the United States and probably even the rest of the world. Well, guess what? Now we're also hearing Russia and China start to rumble about wanting to integrate crypto more so into their governments and how they handle money. So you can say what you want. There's almost like an arms race, but like a money race right now for large governments to get as much Bitcoin and crypto as possible. Whether you're an American citizen, a Canadian citizen, a Mexican citizen, a European, an African, an Asian, a South American, no matter where you're from, if you hold Bitcoin, this is music to your ears. This is all the signs that we are going to see much larger price actions coming than most people think is possible at this time. I will say, as we transition here out of Bitcoin, we're about to talk about Solana because that is the altcoin today that is getting everyone very, very excited. We have a little bit of FUD we have to deal with. And, I just mentioned it. 200 and some odd years ago, I think we're coming up on 250 years since we here in the United States separated ourselves from the Brits, from the UK, the United Kingdom. And I think it's a great decision. It's worked out very well for us. Worked out definitely for them. But the UK, if you're from the UK, put a 1 in chat because your government might be about to make a massive mistake. T-Shroom, what is that mistake UK could be making?
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Well, let's just dive right into the details. Will the UK dump Bitcoin following Germany's move? Another Bitcoin dump coming up. That's the question being asked here by Coinpedia.org. After Germany's recent Bitcoin sell-off spree, the crypto market is speculating whether the UK might follow Germany's move as the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, is under pressure to fund her economic plans. As the British government holds a substantial BTC stash, if Reeves decides to sell, rumors suggest a potential market dip. Now, how much do they have? According to Bloomberg, the UK has seized Bitcoin that's valued at 3.9 billion euros or $5 billion. No, I'm sorry, 3.9 billion pounds or $5 billion, I was going to say. I know that there's more parity there, euro to dollar, to support her economic agenda. Since crypto was absent from the Prime Minister Keir Starmer's manifesto, questions prevail over how the new administration will treat Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies after a landslide victory. The previous conservative-led regime, led by former PM Rishi Sunak, had sought to implement comprehensive crypto regulations and transform Britain into a global Web3 innovation hub. And that's what matters there. So essentially, it's a little bit of a different situation from Germany. Germany, there was like a law where they couldn't hold confiscated monies for a certain amount of time. Here, it's more boring than that, right? They have expenses for an economic plan, and they have these assets, Bitcoin, that are valuable and that they don't really understand. Now, the alternative to this would be that they hold the Bitcoin, maybe even put it into their national treasury or something like this. But Tim, this would be bearish. Just how bearish would it be? Would we see potentially another 15% move to the downside that we saw with the German headlines of them selling? Just how bearish would this be if the Brits decided to go ahead and start dumping BTC onto the market?
Let me tell you why it would not be as much. Now, remind me the exact number. How much did Germany start with before they started dumping it just in billions at a time?
Mm-hmm. It was just about just over $3 billion.
It's just over $3 billion. Okay. So on the surface, there's going to be some people that say, well, if the UK has more, them dumping their Bitcoin would be even worse for Germany, correct? That's not necessarily the case. As T-Shroom pointed out, and it's a very important detail, at least to my understanding, The UK does not have the same policy, the same law that Germany does.
Correct.
Again, that's what we're kind of dealing with here. Germany had a law saying that they had to cash out those confiscated funds in a certain matter of time. So they got to the end of their window and had to sell very, very fast. If you're newer to crypto markets, the market cap of Bitcoin is not as simple in the rest of the crypto space. It's not as simple as saying 4 billion in means 4 billion loses on the market cap, or 4 billion out is added to the market cap. It also has to do with the speed of which it is added or dumped, and that is increasing the volume. It changes the velocity of how the market cap actually operates. Well, in this case, because Germany did it so fast, they dumped nearly or over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in less than 1 month's time span. That level of money plus the speed and the volume which it hit caused Bitcoin to crash 15%. Now, in all reality, that's really not that bad. But why would the UK's plan not work like that? Well, in the article, the speculation here about the UK is that they would want to be selling this Bitcoin to pay for some of their initiatives. Well, you don't want to dump that all at one time because you're really hurting your ability to make the most profit possible. If I was a country saying, man, I have $4 billion worth of Bitcoin and I need to cash this out to pay for some bills, I'm going to do it as slowly, as methodically, and as unaggressive as possible to get the best dollar price or pound price here in the UK's instance for each Bitcoin that I sell. I don't want to dump it fast. I don't want to cause a 15 to 20% correction in Bitcoin, because by the last couple of coins, I'm now all of a sudden not selling it at 67,000. I might be selling it at 55,000. I don't want to see that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, again, we're talking about a centralized governing authority which have not had the greatest track records of doing things that make sense to the average day man. Myself, I would consider an average day man. But this is something that if anyone with any brain cells who understood economics and Bitcoin in general could give very small advice to say, you know what, UK, you'd be better just to hold this at least for another year and some change. But if you absolutely need to sell it, let's come up with a strategic plan. This is a lot like what happened with FTX. FTX had to sell some assets. They had to give assets back to their clients that they stole it from, but they also had to pay off some debts. Well, what's his name? Who was the guy that took over as their receiver? Do you remember the name of the guy that kind of made decisions?
At what organization?
At FTX. I know Mike Novogratz had some say, but effectively what happened, it doesn't really matter what the name is. If you can look that up and get me details, I'll explain what's happening. FTX needed to take profit on some of their crypto holdings to pay back debts, right? But if they had dumped and all of their crypto at one time, not John Ray, there we go. Thank you for that. John Ray. If they had done all of it at one time, they would have made very little money. But instead, they kept a very slow, methodical approach about when to take profit, so they didn't dip the market, so they could get the best percentage of money for every crypto coin that they sold. And that's the kind of experience that you would need if you're a government entity trying to take profit on your crypto. So it's all a lot to say, guys. You might be reading articles today with fresh FUD out there, but in case anyone's trying to draw the parallels between UK and Germany for a plethora of reasons, it doesn't make sense. This is not the same situation. You know what it ultimately is? I think it's a story planted to make any of you retail investors who are potentially looking to buy Bitcoin below 70K hesitate and wait until you see a massive breakout while the rest of the whales make these purchases. And then by the time you feel confident once again, we're sitting at new all-time highs and you missed your chance to buy below 70,000. That's my personal opinion. What do you guys think in the comments below? Do you believe any of this FUD, or is it a bunch of nonsense? T-Shroom, let's move in here because we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about this IT crashing today. We got to talk about what's happening worldwide and what crypto will do, or what crypto's effect of it could be. But first, let's talk about the king of crypto today, the king of altcoins. And no, it's not a meme coin. Yeah, there's some meme coins up like 20%. But if you're looking at legitimate use case projects, Solana, ladies and gentlemen, is once again making a big, big move. I mentioned it this morning in my video. If you go out to the weekly chart, something happened here on Solana where we are getting a buy signal. That is where we've had a green reversal here more recently, green momentum, and positive money flow on the weekly chart. Guess when the last time we had that combination came came into play. It was way back here in September, October range. What happened back then? Oh, yeah, Solana would go on to rally over 1,000% over the next couple of months. Hopefully, I don't have to explain that to you too much. The time before that wasn't as necessarily good of a rally, but it was pretty darn close to being a good one. This one had Solana rally upwards of 145%. More on that here in just a little bit. What's the point here? What am I trying to say as I start digging into Solana price action? These weekly buy signals have historically been amazing opportunities, but I saw comments in my video this morning that says, Tim, these videos are for traders. A lot of your audience is just investors. Can you please make more content for us who just want to invest? Here's the thing, guys. Technical analysis, let's say on like the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart or that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that it's really more for my day traders, the people who want to get in and out several times a week. I get that. When we're talking about the weekly chart, during the course of a bull market, you're only going to get a handful of these signals, maybe 10 at best. And every single one of them is going to mark an amazing opportunity to add to your bag. I'm not saying ditch a DCA strategy. Continue to have a good DCA strategy where you have a routine that you purchase no matter what the price is. But if you're sitting on dry powder, if you're the type of person saying, man, I have some extra cash, but I want to wait for the right time where we've bottomed out and we're showing the right form of strength, this is the technical analysis that's right for you. The weekly chart is marking amazing buying opportunities, not only for long-term traders, but for you who are just here to invest and make money throughout the bull market. So what am I saying here? This chart is for everyone. We're seeing the strength of the bulls come back. But I was digging a little bit deeper here, T-Shroom. I was actually on the show with Paul Barron earlier today. I don't think it was a live show. I think it was a pre-recording. So I don't know exactly when that's coming out. But when I was talking with him, I actually did some research this morning after making my morning video about some movement patterns that are consistent with Solana that are going to give us a price prediction for where Solana's next big move could be before September. Before I do that, let's talk about the daily chart. Let's go back over here and start off with a very simple and easy short-term price prediction for Solana. What I'm going to look at here is we have a flat level of support in this range of about $120. We talked about it a lot on this channel. We were one of the few that told you guys when we were sitting above $200, hey guys, don't be surprised if Solana falls back down towards 120. I didn't hear really anybody but the bros saying it, and sure enough, that has happened now 4 different times. If you were listening, you've had some great buying opportunities. At the same time, the descending level of resistance has been into play, and this is going to cause some people to freak out saying, Tim, could this potentially be something negative? Could this send price action of Solana to the downside? Well, as we get close to breaking through resistance of its own, you still want to take the same theory that we have here. So in this case, let's take, and I want to start here by going from the bottom of 120 to the timeline of this bottom right here on May 1st, but getting up to those high levels of 208. All right. So this is going to help us. If we break bullish out of this triangle, which more often than not is bearish, but in this case is going to break to the upside, in my personal opinion, this would give us a price prediction for Solana, not only to hit $300, but hit it early in September. But wait, because there's some I'm finding on the chart that says that this is definitely something to be watching. If you saw the title of this video and you're saying, Tim, you really think we're getting to 300 by September? Let me explain why, but that's argument number 1. I can make a lot of other arguments in here just for all the support that we've broken here recently, the bullishness that we're now creating here in the last couple of days. But for this one, I want to take a look at the history of Solana's price action since it bottomed out way back here in December of 2022, all the way down at $8. So let's talk about this and look at the bullish moves and the timelines that we've seen happen here on Solana price action. For this, I want to go back to the weekly chart. Now, let's take a look here at the big rally that came into play here. So Solana here, after bottoming out back in December, would rally just a couple of weeks later, touching up to $27 over a 242% move. But if I were to go, we kind of had some balancing in Solana. I didn't go to the exact dip, but I came up closer to $10. You're going to see a little bit over an 160% rally for Solana. And in reality, this rally happened within the time frame of about 7-8 weeks, okay? Remember, that number of how high we went and how fast we did it. Okay. Big thing that we had happen right there. Boom. That's number one. Then we would go on, and this time frame is not necessarily as important, but Solana would go on to cool off roughly 50%. Okay. So we rally 160, fall back 50. What happens right here in June? Stay with me, everybody. I'm going to tell you this for a reason, but we would go on to rally over 5 weeks, so a little bit less than the other one, 150%. Very short time frame right there. Now, this one, I don't think we fall back quite 50. We fall back 50%? There we go. 45% over the next couple of weeks. All right. So 160, 50%. 150, 45%. We would go on from this time frame right here to rally over a course of several weeks. This one being 15, so double the time frame. We would rally 638%, a massive leg here for Solana. But guess what? We would go ahead and correct from there and fall back about 36%. This is actually the smallest pullback of them all. But guess what? Let me go ahead and get rid of that one. How big was the next rally? After bottoming out here in January, how big of a rally did we have over the next couple of weeks? 160%. And how long did it take? 7 weeks. How far have we pulled back now right here? 40%. I'm seeing a pattern here, with the exception of what happened between September and December. The movements of Solana during this bull market have been 150 to 160% to the upside, 40 to 50% to the downside, and the rallies happen not in a matter of multiple months, half a year. They happen in less than 2 months. I'm going to give this every benefit of the doubt, but we've now had our average pullback. We pulled back 40%. And guess what? If we were to count this bottom out position and we were to move 8 weeks into the future, where would the price and where would the timeline put us if we were to go 8 weeks? So I'm going to move this over, sorry, just a hair right here to the bottom. If we were to go, actually 9 weeks here, ladies and gentlemen, 9 weeks and 156% rally would put us where? $309 right there in the first week of September. So we're seeing some confluence. I know there's a lot there, guys. Some of you might have been like tuning out. I just wanted to show you the pattern that Solana has been consistent. When it gets moving, it doesn't waste its time. 2 months of explosive bullish price action should be expected on Solana, and that would give us the timeline of $300 by September. Do with that information what you will, but whenever you find something that shows you a lot of confluence and a history and a pattern, do not be surprised to watch other experienced traders who will also watch that pattern make their investment decisions based off of it, and look for the next level. If this rally continues the way I think it will, the next level of heavy resistance on Solana probably sitting just at or right above $300. What's my recommendation for you guys? If any of you are listening and saying, man, I agree with every word Tim just said, I want to trade Solana here as well. Well, guess what? I wouldn't wait for $308. Truth is, I probably wouldn't wait for $300 on the dot. I'm going to be the kind of conservative person who says, let's go to $290. Let's go to $295. Let's not try to catch the perfect take profit here. Let's not try to pinpoint it right down to the exact date, the exact price. Let's be conservative. Let's make sure that we take our profit. But either way, the bulls are here. The weekly chart is saying the bulls are back in control for the first time since back in September. And the history and the patterns both suggest we should be seeing $300 in the next 2 months. Let me know in the comments if you disagree wholeheartedly or if that made a lot of sense. T-Shroom, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts? Had you seen that before? Have you heard of that? What are your thoughts about that analysis?
I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense. And, what has happened in the past is not always what happens in the future, but it's a good indicator, right? It rhymes usually. The history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. Mantra comes to mind. But Tim, I have a question for you. Let's say we do get to 308, right? You're talking about taking some profits there. You're going to have to pay taxes on those profits. Am I right?
Yeah. You do have to take. That's the downside, everybody, of making money in crypto until we get some changes to the laws. And don't worry. I do think that this time next year, maybe the next 2 years, the laws of how to handle your crypto profits probably will change. But for right now, we have this American thing called the IRS. I don't know if other countries have their own IRS. I don't know if that's a thing.
They do.
But they're very strict. They're very stingy. There's laws about how much you have to pay in taxes based off your gains. You do not want to mess with this stuff yourself. And that is why we here at the Investing Bros partnered with Decrypted.tax. This is the best tax professional in the crypto world you're ever going to find. There's so many reasons to get him. And you might be saying, it's July, Tim. Why are we talking about taxes? Well, I like to plan ahead. I'm a planner, and I have a very big belief that those who fail to plan to fail. I have a conversation with Ernest once a month. He's my tax CPA. He helps me think about investing my crypto correctly while thinking about the tax world ahead. Here's the cool thing. When you sign up with the link down below, this is our partnership with him. Not only do you get a free 60-minute consultation where he can give you just free advice on how to handle crypto, if you sign up with him and tell him that you came from the bros, you get 25% off all of his services. And I'll tell you this right now, I've never worked with a CPA who goes so far above and beyond to make sure you pay not a single penny over what the IRS legally can take from you. Go sign up, talk to Ernest today. Shout out to Decrypted.tax for sponsoring this video. T-Shirt, let's engage with chat here for just a second.
Yeah.
It's 3:31. We still got to talk about the IT outages and the crypto role in that. I forgot earlier. I wanted to say before we get into Q&A, look for some chat that you think is interesting. But something we got to make sure we point out. First of all, Bitcoin over 67,200 just now. I want to point out something that would make you just smile from ear to ear, T-Shroom. I said when we were starting the show, what can I do to make T-Shroom smile? He's got one of the best smiles in the entire world. So let me see it. Let me see your big smile. I just want to see it. There we go. It's beautiful. That canine. That's a wicked looking canine right there. Anyway, Bollinger Bands. T-Shroom Bollinger Bands. This is one of his favorite indicators. It's one of mine as well. And what we see playing out right now on the weekly chart is constriction. Now, someone earlier today tried to tell me, like, Tim, I think this is the tightest constriction we've ever seen in the history of the weekly Bollinger Bands on Bitcoin. That's not true. We actually had pretty tight restrictions back here in July, August of 2023. Guess what happened shortly after that constriction? Yeah, there was a little bit of volatility in there, but boom, massive runs to the upside. Why is this so important, guys? Because when you look at Bollinger Band history, it has these volatile movements that tells you how volatile the asset is at any given time. But when you move into levels of constriction, like back here in September of 2020, like I said back here in September of 2023, right here in October of 2022, notice big moves come shortly after. Why? Because that's what Bollinger Bands do. They tell you how volatile an asset is, but when it constricts, that means it's not very volatile, which means there's consolidation happening because a big move by the whales are about to come into play. So in theory, this could be a massive move to the downside. I want to make sure you guys understand, nothing about the Bollinger Bands right now are saying we have to move up. I'm just saying if the Bollinger Bands are communicating constriction and a big breakout is coming very, very soon, and then we're looking at the other things on the oscillators and the indicators and the news and the sentiment of the space, all roads seem to point towards a big breakout to the upside. And again, if we see this match what we saw last time here, T-Shirt, I'm showing my screen here one more time. If we do see a big breakout that mimics what happened the last time we were this constricted, an 185% rally would happen on Bitcoin. That would send the price all the way up here to $156,000. Is that the top? I don't think so. I think it goes even higher. But it's something to keep an eye on, that if history on Bitcoin repeats this bull market and we see a mimic right there, we could see that price action come back into the fold. Keep your eyes on that Bollinger Band movement. With that said, T-Shroom, let's answer some questions and then get into talking about what's happening globally right now with computers and internets and airlines and everything else.
Yeah, we got a good one here from Lou. Said, would you choose Solana or Link if you had to choose one? I've got my answer ready. What's yours?
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of people who say, Tim, Chainlink has been boring recently and Solana's more exciting. Okay, fair. I still believe Chainlink is the better opportunity. And I understand we need to see the bullish movements before we actually get to cash out and celebrate. Again, I still just see so many fundamental developments with Chainlink because it has a smaller market cap. I mean, Solana's already so big, guys. I still think Solana could. I mean, from current prices here, it's currently at 170. Do I think we're 10xing from here? Probably not. I think we can get up over $1,000. I think there's a chance with a very bullish scenario that we make our way even closer to 1,600. But at $170, that's not a 10x right there. Chainlink, on the other hand, to get to $140, which would be a 10x. And I don't know, things just seem to lag here. That's the IT world, guys. The IT world trying to end the Investing Pro show, but we're going to keep moving on. A 10x on Chainlink is just a measly $140. That's nothing. That's super easy. I think that the bear case scenario for Chainlink is at least 200. I think there's the more bullish case for 500 to 700. But even if you don't agree with me there, 200 to 300, easy. So let's just think about this, guys. Let's pretend that Solana does the best it really possibly could and 10x's from its current very large market cap. That's not going to be close to the bearish scenario of Chainlink, which would be more like a 15x. So while I think that more money flows into Solana, I think Solana probably secures a top 3 spot in crypto's market caps behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. That doesn't mean that you'd make more money investing in Solana than Chainlink. You might have an argument that it's a safer investment, and therefore, if you need to have a safe investment, you should be choosing a Solana investment over Chainlink. But if you have some room for more risk, and you do see the bullishness of the fundamentals of what is coming, I don't think it's a crazy thought to say, if you had to choose to put $1,000 into Chainlink or $1,000 into Solana, you'll make more money with $1,000 in Chainlink. That's just simple. Here's the good news. You don't have to choose just one. Invest in both of them. They're both going to do very well. They're both going to make you a lot of money. We always love these hypothetical questions, but we still live in reality, and there's no law saying I can only choose one. I get to choose both, and I love it. Shout out to Matt C. with an $100 super chat. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we saw the red right there. Love to see it here. Wanted to thank Tim, T-Shroom, and all the people working behind the scenes, the members, and all the people who show up day after day to support the channel. This community is second to none. We are going to crush it. Fist bump, praying hands, fire emoji. Shout out to Matt C. I can't wait to see him next week in Nashville. T-Shroom, you're going to be bunking with him, right? You guys are going to be in the same bed in Nashville, Tennessee.
That is, well, it's not the same bed, but we have the same hotel room. That's right.
Well, you just killed imagination right there. So we're going to be seeing Matt C. I'm excited. Also, I'm going to be going out for all of our college football fans. We'll take pictures. We'll tell you about it. Matt C. and I are going to go to, he's moving to Michigan next year. So he's going to be moving far away from his beloved UCLA Bruins. I'm going to be going out to California to watch a game with him. Now, they're not going to win. They're going to be playing Oregon. It's not going to be pretty. But Matt and I are going to have a very fun bonding time in Los Angeles watching the Bruins get their butts handed to them by the Oregon Ducks. It's part of what it is, but friendship is really the real treasure all along the way. Shout out to Matt C. Thank you for that super chat. Let's see what else is in chat here. Do you see any other good questions before we get into our next topic, T-Shroom?
Yeah, there's a couple of juicy ones. I'll pick this one from Gustavo Viejos. He said, Tim, what is your timetable for this bull run? Estimated end day. Timing it to the day is quite a challenge.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. September, early to mid-September of 20. You know what? No, mid to late September. Mid to late September of 2025 is the 4-year cycle's end. Now, there's a lot of things happening in the world. I'll put it this way. I do think that this last halving event that happened in 2024, I think it was the last big significant halving event, meaning everything from here on out, when the new supply halves, it's not going to be as big of a deal anymore. I mean, we're so close already to being at maximum supply. Yes, we still have more to print, but we saw the last major affecting halving event. So while you can't say for certain that the 4-year cycle is over, and at this point it's still on track, I am leaning towards the possibility of what some people are going to call a super cycle, but what I might call the new normal. And that is if there's no good reason for crypto to correct, unless you use an argument that it's just massively overpriced, which I don't think it will, as governments, as we talked about earlier, are going to be fighting tooth and nail to get every single Satoshi they can. I think that the future of crypto bull and bear markets heavily depend upon where is the world economy, where is multiple people's economy, how overextended is the price action. We're probably looking at like monthly charts to get that estimation. Don't get me wrong, guys. I plan on taking profit and doing a lot of things with my crypto gains in the fall of 2025. But if you asked me, are you certain, Tim, that that's the end? No, I'm not. I think there's a lot of very bullish things coming in the world of crypto that we might just see this run up all the way until maybe, I think 2027. I've seen a lot of people pointing that year out that there might be some economic problems that finally catch up to America and the rest of the world that could have a disaster scenario in 2027. That does not fall within the 4-year cycle. Could we see an extended cycle for a couple of extra years and then need to have a small bath, regroup, and start a new fresh one, maybe 2028, 2029? I think that's a very doable thing.
And Tim, this is a good transition into our next section because, crypto has basically, as Wall Street has tiptoed into the market much more, they are responsible for a large portion of the trading volume day in and day out and month in and month out. Crypto trades like a small cap tech stock, trades like Snowflake or Robinhood or Coinbase or something like this, right? And we've forgotten, many of us, that Bitcoin and some cryptos are really not just a vitamin that's going to help you get feel a little bit better. It's actually a painkiller to some existing systems in this world. It is a much needed upgrade, a much needed enhancement, and it's not exactly clear exactly how that's going to play out on the world's markets and infrastructure. But today we saw potentially a glimpse, and the market spoke and said that Bitcoin is definitely a solution to some of the issues that we saw today. Let's get into them. I think it was best exemplified actually here on CrowdStrike's Wikipedia page. So this is the official Wikipedia for CrowdStrike.
The most reliable website in the entire world, Wikipedia.
Tim, brace for the sarcasm there if you didn't hear it. But 2024 incident is already a entry in the. Yeah. It's up there with Russian hacking investigation and then the general history of CrowdStrike. Right, CrowdStrike, not a small company. This is like a multi-billion-dollar multinational company, and this is how it's summarized so far. On July 19th, today, a faulty CrowdStrike software update caused blue screens of death on Microsoft Windows machines, disrupting millions of Windows computers worldwide. Affected machines were forced into a boot loop, making them unusable. The downtime caused widespread global impact, including airlines, airports, banks, hospitals, stock markets, broadcasting services, and emergency services. Tim, this was not a good event. This was something it's been a crazy week. It's already been a very crazy week for the world, especially the United States, with some of our leaders. And now we're getting this. This was a crazy, crazy event. But Cynthia Loomis, actually, a U.S. Senator, jumps in with some interesting commentary. She says this: "Do you know what form of currency hasn't been affected by widespread cyber outages? Hashtag Bitcoin." So I think that says it all. Kind of, is Bitcoin going to be, the layer that replaces CrowdStrike? I don't know about that, but it has been resilient, right? So Tim, I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on this. Neither of us are like IT, security guys, but Tim, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so here's where you get the fixes, because I want people to understand. Bitcoin is not the fix for what happened today. Bitcoin has nothing to do with what happened today, other than it didn't get an outage. What's happening today, though, the impact of the internet pretty much crashing worldwide in ways we saw. I mean, anyone try to catch a flight today? Anyone know somebody try to catch a flight today? You're not happy. It's not happening. Travel got shut down. That's major. Has anyone tried to go to an ATM or their bank account and try to withdraw some money today? It's not happening. Not gonna happen. This right here is the reason why. There's so many other things, but this is the reason why. The Web3 world, is it ready to take over Web2? Not yet. We had a lot of development that needs to happen. But decentralization, security, and speed is so essential. Web 2 is old tech. Yeah, when it came out, I guess when did the internet really come out? The 80s or 90s, T-Shroom?
Yeah, late 90s.
Late 90s. It was super cool at the time. And it's actually funny when thinking about it. Remember when you were happy if your page downloaded in like less than a minute? And that was like super stupid fast. Now it's like if it takes longer than 2 seconds, you're getting frustrated. Anyway, Web 2 is old tech. It's still just the best thing that we have, but Web 3 is coming. But as we build out the Web 3 world, things like this is why you want to prioritize heavy security and heavy decentralization. So while Bitcoin might solve the financial side of this, like in terms of like, man, when the internet goes out, you can't communicate with banks, you can't get things going back and forth. That solves that side. But the rest of the crypto space, and we're talking about layer ones, when we're talking about Ethereums and Solanas and Cardanos and AVAXs, these are the ones that actually solve the problem that happens today. Are they ready to do it right now? No. There's a lot of stuff that still needs to be built. There's a lot of technology that needs to be integrated. I still hold this very dear. I was in a room a couple of years ago with Matt C. Speaking of him, we were in a room with Charles Hoskinson. Is Charles Hoskinson your favorite person in crypto? Doesn't have to be. For the sake of the story, you're going to agree with him. He talked about how the things that we understood right now in crypto would have just completely baffled us and made it think that it wasn't even possible 3 years ago. And then he said, when we look forward in the next 3 years, the things that we will be able to accomplish with blockchain technology today, we don't think is even possible. It's a very fast growing and innovative space that's nowhere close to its full potential. But it's days like today that if you were wondering, man, is Web3 a fad? Is this thing going to come and go? Is crypto just this super nerdy computer money thing that's just going to come in and leave? Today is why it has a very long way to go and is going to continue to be on the forefront of major businesses and governments worldwide because they know this is the solution long term.
Yeah.
Do with that information what you will. But the good news is, T-Shroom, it looks like, we thought maybe this was going to be a low viewership day. I think today is probably looking like we just had a 600 people concurrent in here.
Nice.
Our highest viewed show this week. Guys, smash the like button if you are enjoying the show. Have there been some pixelations to Tim? Yes, there has been. But have we had a lot of fun along the way? Absolutely. You got to smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you are new as well and you're learning something. Let's get in here. There's some big stuff happening also. We forgot to announce it early in the show, and it's my bad. We got giveaways today. For anyone who's in our memberships, or using one of our trading exchanges, we do have announcements for our giveaways coming very, very soon. But first, we're going to have our factoid of the day. And the factoid today is brought to you by one of our trading partners. Share my screen here, T-Shroom. CoinW is officially our trading sponsor here at Investing Bros. There's some really cool things that happen. First of all, when you sign up with our link, you could be entered to win over 30,500 USDT. But even if you don't win that, again, you're entering into a pool with a lot of people just for signing up. Okay, signing up with account, free $5. Setting up a futures rewards, 50 US dollars, Tether. If you enter one trade, 50. So you could get $105 free right off the bat. Also, you get to enter to potentially win over $30,000 of USDT. And the third thing that you get is you get access into our CoinW trading Discord channel, where every single week, one of you, just because you enter your trades in there, you get an opportunity to win a $50 trading bonus. You got to sign up, though, today with our link down below. Use CoinW. It is one of the best exchanges out there. No KYC, no VPN needed. They have over 300 different pairs for spot trading, which I heavily recommend if you're newer to the trading world. And they have well over 100 pairs for trading futures. You can trade all the way up to 125x. I don't think you should, but you can trade futures, you can trade spot, and you don't need to KYC or use a VPN. Your privacy is protected. Go check out CoinW. Link down below today. T-Shroom, let's go into our factoid of the day.
All right, Tim, let's test your wits here. Which tech company is headquartered in Redmond, Washington? Is it A, Amazon, B, Apple, C, Netflix, or is it D, Microsoft?
Not Amazon or Apple. I'm pretty sure those are both West Coast, and I feel like Netflix would be West Coast as well. Redmond, Washington. Oh, wait, no, it is Redmond. I'm thinking Washington, D.C. Okay. Scratch everything. We're going back. I think Apple. I actually almost talked myself out of the right answer. It's either Apple or Amazon, but I feel like Amazon is not going to find itself up there. Apple seems like the type of company that would be in a state like Washington. So I'm going B, Apple.
All right, he's locking it in.
I see a lot of people saying it's D, so I'm not feeling good about this.
It's
All right.
Microsoft, Tim, here headquartered in
Really?
Redmond, Washington, founded by none other than Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Very,
Okay.
very poor display of wits there, Tim. But it's okay. Got a
Can't win them all.
got a question here, a narrative question. Osama Trabelsi, T-Shroom, why is Render doing poorly? I think if you look at NVIDIA, if you look at the stock market in general today is down. I think the AI narrative is also, kind of coming into question right now. Will it come back? I think it's been a strong narrative. I think it'll continue to be a strong narrative. I just think there's some weakness. There's been a failure to convert curiosity and excitement into real value and profitability for AI projects and companies outside of NVIDIA and OpenAI. That's my take. I do hold Render, haven't sold Render.
Yeah, I think that Render, people are going to be disappointed by price action. I think there's some bullishness coming. Render was one of my coins, I think, today. Let me check this to make sure. Yeah, Render is one of my coins. My video this morning, guys, I listed 16 coins that are flashing buy signals on the weekly chart, which, again, whether you're a trader or an investor, when these things – go to my screen here real quick, T-Shroom. The buy signal we're flashing here, the last time it flashed was back here in September of 2023. Oh, look at that. Great buy spot. Right here in January of 2023. Oh, would you look at that? Good buy spot. Right here in October of 2022. Oh, look at that. Good buy spot. And back here in June of 2022. Oh, would you look at that? A good buy spot. So we're seeing the same thing flash again here on Render for the first time in a long time. Do with that information what you will, but historically on Render, this has been a buy signal. If you go up my screen, T-Shroom, do you guys want me to read the list of my 16 coins? You got to go watch my video this morning. But the 16 coins right now, and I'm sure there's others, but the 16 printing this exact buy signal are Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, ICP, AVAX, Matic, Stacks, OP, TIA, Atom, Arbitrum, VeChain, Render, Near, FET, or ASI, and Injective.
Nice.
They are all flashing that weekly buy signal. And again, look at the history of them. If you have luck and you can use the oscillator to back test, you will find these have been the most reliable, best buy signals for long-term price action you have. If you don't have Lux Algo, you're making a mistake. Go get it right now. That's actually one of your ways to get into our community. You can be a part of our VIP trading group when you purchase Lux Algo with our link down below. It's the best trading indicator, but it also is going to make you a lot of money. Speaking of, you guys got to go join our membership. We just launched it within the last month. Go check out down below. It's the first thing in description. Our different levels in our Discord. We are crushing over there. There are testimonies of people that are becoming much better investors, much better traders. Certain packages you can actually get one-on-ones with myself, T-Shroom, or Crux to review your portfolio to make sure we're setting you up for the best possible bull market you could have. But you got to go check it out and sign up with the link down below today. T-Shroom, last question, and then we're going to start getting into our giveaways. What do you see in chat? I see people saying I'm on struggling Wi-Fi again. You know what? It's a common. It's a little bit of this. It's a little bit of that.
It's the short answer is that it's not Tim's Wi-Fi. Trust me. There is one more headline here we hadn't discussed, but I thought this was worthy of note. Robinhood can get more efficient by tokenizing real-world assets, says Crypto Head. We want to start using blockchain technology to power more and more things. Very vague. Robinhood crypto general manager John Curbett said during a Wednesday appearance on the FOMO Hour podcast, I think we can do more with blockchain, he continued. We can tokenize real-world assets and actually make them a lot more efficient. An interesting nod, kind of nod towards RWA narrative, which, if I had to pick between AI and RWA, this cycle, I think RWA is getting a better allocation from the market. It's also getting a better allocation from me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Very cool stuff. Yeah, again, Robinhood, it's had its moments. People hated it. I think Robinhood has a bright future. I think they're making some good decisions. They used to be just pro making money, and it's like, yeah, we can let crypto be traded. It makes some money, but I think they're on their way to being not as good as Coinbase necessarily. Someone asked me that earlier. If you had to choose one stock to follow, or if you had to choose an account to sign up with, I mean, I think there's advantages to Robinhood, but I still think Coinbase is going to have the better future. But Robinhood could be right behind, depending on what key decisions they do make. What we're going to do, we're going to transition here into some giveaways. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull a little switcheroo on people here, T-Shroom. I'm going to give people 1 day to get signed up for CoinW and start entering trades in our CoinW Discord. Again, sign up, message us on Discord. There's a channel that you can hit and you can have a ticket. Let me show them what they could get to here, T-Shroom. Don't share my screen just yet. I want to make sure I hit the right things here. Well, this is... Boom. Okay, you can go ahead and go to my screen here. When you get into our Discord and you scroll down to VIP Lux Algo, CoinW, hit this Get Access button, start a ticket, just post your CoinW UID. And when you get in here, all you have to do is post trades that you've made recently. Whether it's a win or a loss, every single trade that you post ends up getting you entered to win a giveaway. We're going to announce both CoinW and Blowfin winners tomorrow. So you have not 24 hours, let's call it like 16 hours to get signed up for CoinW, get in there and start making trades, and you could win $50 trade tomorrow. But what we will do today, T-Shroom, we will be doing our giveaway for our members. Next week, though, if you sign up today, you can be a part of our weekly giveaway with our Pro Bros. We have a nice little wheel here brought to you by Lux Algo. I always love to spin it because it looks so good. It was made by Crux. Who's going to win this week's $50 giveaway of our current Pro Bros members? It looks like TBB003. That is also, we actually know, I know most of the names on this list now. That is Trent. Trent is going to be with us in Nashville next week. But guess what? Trent first is going to get a free $50. So it looks like, dinner on us, Trent. Make sure you reach out to us in Discord so we can get your information. By the way, guys, if you ever are in Discord and you get a DM from myself or T-Shroom or Crux, that's not us. We don't DM you. If you ever notice, we always tell you guys to DM us because we want to make sure you're talking to the right person. If you're in Discord, you're trying to get a hold of us. If you have any questions about the membership, about Discord options, I see someone here asking a question about Lux Algo. I'll talk about that in a second, but you can always reach out to us over there in Discord. So even if you're not ready for memberships, join the free version, get into the community. It's an amazing group. And then when the time is right and you're ready to go deeper with your education, sign up for one of our membership options. As we're wrapping it up here, Thorn Trap says, how does Lux Algo work? By the way, I told you guys, we're doing the giveaways for the trading tomorrow. We will be live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our Saturday show is back. We're going to do a community trade tomorrow, too. It's been a couple of weeks because we haven't had Saturday shows recently. Community trade tomorrow. Be here. Thorn Trap, how does Lux Algo work? Well, you guys, if you've been watching me do technical analysis here for a while, if you ever see any of these fun-looking, let me get to a different screen. If you ever see any of these fun-looking indicators right here, I have myself amazing levels of support and resistance. It shows me how strong or how weak these are, buying or selling places with take profit calls, and also a killer trading oscillator. These are all things that come with Lux Algo when you sign up for the premium version. And if you want to save some money, guess what? When you purchase with our link, you get 20% off anything you buy. But if you buy a whole year up front, you can save like 40% as well. So go sign up with Lux Algo. Here's the cool thing. When you sign up, once again, you get in here to Discord, you create a ticket, give me the email you signed up with. You get to join our VIP trading group where I have links in here. You guys get to see I'm going to show you some behind the scenes here. We're talking all the time. We pretty much have daily streams where I'm explaining different things happening. I have a whole chat in here where I'm dropping alpha on different coins and what I'm looking at on their charts. These are all things the VIP traders get. But even more so, if you're saying, man, I want to buy Lux Algo, but I also want to learn how to use it, we have a VIP hub where I have created playlists, one of which is this one right here, a Lux Education playlist. It is all the steps and all the details you need. Oh, it's not scrolling down low enough, T-Shirt, but it's in here. All the steps and all the things you need to know how to start using Lux Algo to make money today. So there's so many benefits of signing up. You might as well go ahead and do it right now. Those links are down below. Shout out to Thorntrap for that question. T-Shroom, it is 3:59. We're going to answer one more question while everyone starts smashing that like button, hitting subscribe. We're currently, again, we had 600 people in here at one point. We're still hovering over 400, and yet the likes are only at 231. Let's get to 250. Let's get to 300. Guys, there's a lot of you who have not smashed a like. Smash the like right now. Get us to 300. Last question here. BitUendo says, guys, Bitcoin's about 67K. Is it topping out? That's a good question. Well, let's talk about that one tomorrow, though, because we'll do some more TA there. All right. Ben Galt said, I'm using Coinbase, but I'm thinking about trying Lux Algo. Not sure. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to use all the features. Here's the thing, Ben. I got you, man. If you don't know how to do it, that's why you join it into our VIP trading group, and then we teach you as you go. Just ask some of the people in the community that are in VIP trading. We have a lot of great customer service in there. We will not leave you behind. Sign up for Luxalgo, get up in the memberships, and you'll be good. One question here. Yeah, someone said big L for Tim. Sorry, guys. I'm not a Microsoft guy. For some reason, I thought Microsoft was somewhere in eastern part of the United States. Like I was thinking like maybe Boston for some reason or like New Jersey. I don't know why I think that, though.
I got one here from Bitnado. Tim, can you do some TA on the Dixie? Looks bullish to me. Thanks.
I mentioned this earlier. This is a good way to close out the day with some good TA. I'm going to answer your question, but I want to go away from some things. First of all, Bitcoin dominance. Haven't talked about it in a minute. It's rallying right now. What does that mean? Bitcoin, I don't think it's done. Do not be surprised to still see this get to 60%. Dixie, you asked about the Dixie. Guess what's happening right now? As Bitcoin's rallying, the Dixie's rallying. Guess what was happening before? As Bitcoin was falling, the Dixie was falling. Right now, the Dixie and Bitcoin, or the Dixie and crypto, are actually somewhat tied together. Guess what they're trading the opposite of? They're trading the opposite of the stock world. If I were to come over here into the S&P 500, it's been rallying for the last month, but over the last couple of days has been falling. The exact opposite of Bitcoin, the exact opposite of the dollar. So I know historically we like to take a look at the dollar, the Dixie, and say, oh, well, if it's moving up, that's bad for Bitcoin, or if it's moving down, that's bad. And it will get back to this spot. But for right now, we actually see the dollar going to the upside as a fundamentally strong thing for crypto as well. Why is that? Because I personally believe, again, you can tell me, you can fight me if you want. If you're in Nashville and you see me on the street and you disagree with what I'm about to say, feel free to fight me. I'm a pretty big guy. I don't think you're going to win, but you can try. I don't recommend
verbally
violence. Don't fight anybody. Yeah, be a kind person. Be nice. Use your words. Anyway, so what we have going on right now, the S&P 500, the stock market, drastically overextended right now. One of my good friends, Stocks with Josh, some of you in the community that are watching right now, you came from his channel. Shout out to you. I agree with something he's been saying now for a while, and that is that historically the stock market will get so overextended it needs to have a correction. This isn't a bear market. This isn't something terrible. It just needs to have a nice 10% dip to calm back down. Well, it's not going to be because the economy is weak. It's just because the prices are overinflated. But where will that money go? Well, if we've been pumping like crazy in the stock market and crypto's been more boring, I have an hypothesis that the bullish scenario for Bitcoin and crypto is that we will watch companies and governments and large entities worldwide take some profits in the stock market that's doing very well and reallocate some of those profits into crypto, causing a big boom coming your way very, very soon. That's my hypothesis. T-Shroom, do you agree? Disagree?
No, I do. I think there's a reason. I do not want to fight you, Tim. I wouldn't want to put you through that. But I do think that there's going to be a rotation, not necessarily out of equities, but I think out of a lot of different places into crypto, specifically Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to mention before we sign off here today, Fundamentals Friday will be happening after the stream. Come ask questions or learn how to do TA. That's happening in the Discord. So get in the Discord, get access, and get that Fundamentals Friday.
Something to know, for right now, that's open to free Discord members. Right. So right now, you can go sign up for our Discord, get in there, go spend time with Crux. Guys, you don't see Crux's face on here a lot because he's camera shy. I'm just kidding. We'll get him on here eventually. But a wealth of knowledge coming from this man. He was so good. He is right now the third bro. He's helping a lot of people change their lives forever. You want to jump in there. But the reason I'm saying this is for now and probably the next couple of weeks, this will be open for the free Discord members, but it will be moving to our basics package. It will be moving into our membership option. So go check it out. Find out who Crux is. Go hear some amazing alpha and consider community. Guys, that's all we have for you in today's show. Did we get to 300 likes, T-Shroom? Did we hit it? I have an inkling that we didn't.
260
260.
Is what I'm
yeah. Goodness gracious. All right. We're going to try again tomorrow.
Disappointing.
We're going to get some three. You know what? We might have to start going back to doing some giveaways of things to get these likes up. People need to be smashing it. Either way, I still love every one of you. There's like 100 and something odd of you that have not smashed the like button. You know what? I still love you and like you being here. Please come back. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss a single show. We always have fun. See you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Not the same time, actually. 11 a.m. Let's roll the outro, T.
Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.